my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey, man, watch the movie.
Hey guys, so Snoop Dogg, I think that's the name that he's currently going by, went on a podcast recently and said something very reasonable, which elicited a lot of controversy for some reason. Actually, I know the reason, but we'll get into it. So he was watching a Disney movie with one of his grandsons when something appeared on the screen that was very difficult for Snoop to explain. So let's hear a story.
That's what you see. They putting it everywhere.
Yeah.
I took my grandson to see what was a movie with Buzz Light.
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
the new Buzz. The Lightyear. I think it's called Lightyear.
Yeah, with Kiki Palmer's in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the daughter. So we watching it, and the lady, which is Kiki's mama, they move on into the space years. They move down the line. They're like, man, she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey, man, watch the movie. They just said she had a baby. They both women. How did she have a baby? Shh. The movie ain't over with. So it's like, I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for.
Yeah, I think this is what a lot of reasonable parents and grandparents too are feeling about Disney. That when you used to think Disney movie, you used to think of princesses, you used to think of sort of like these sentimental themes and messages, and that's just not true anymore. The company has been on a mission, it seems like, in the last few decades to subvert, everything that made them successful and wholesome and popular when Walt Disney was still in charge of the company and its products. And, kids pick up on a lot of stuff, a lot more than I think some people give them credit for. But yeah, I think it would pique any kid's curiosity to see that, hey, two women are having a baby, and I've never seen that in real life before, and hey, how does that work? And then you, as a parent or a grandparent or a babysitter, are stuck having to explain this, and of course the answer is pretty simple, that a baby is the product of a man and a woman, at least right now. Artificial wombs and all that haven't really developed to the point where we know what that's going to look like anyway, but you're stuck trying to come up with an answer for why there are two women having a baby in this movie. Also, I haven't seen the new Toy Story, but I had no idea that it went in this direction. Seems really, really strange for a movie that is supposed to be about children's toys.
What'd you tell them?
Watch the movie. Eat this popcorn. Shh.
You said, we don't know.
It threw me for a loop. I'm like, what part of the movie was this? These are kids that we have to show that at this age, like
that part.
They're going to ask questions.
Yeah.
They are going to ask. I don't have the answer.
Yeah. And I don't even know the answer that's rehearsed. What am I supposed to say? What was the lady used to be I got questions. Now I got questions.
Me too. And I was just there to go to sleep and watch the movie. That nigga woke me up. I'm in there. Huh? They just said that she had a baby. How? They both women. Oh, man, damn. Yeah, eat this popcorn.
So that's the problem, right? You can tell the kid to just eat the popcorn, just watch the movie, but kids are figuring stuff out all the time. They're trying to learn how the world works, and this is a very interesting and maybe disturbing piece of information for a kid to consider that, hey, I always thought that a baby, was something that happened when a man and a woman did something, but now it seems like two women can make a baby. What's going on here, Snoop Dogg? And Snoop Dogg is stuck trying to find an answer. So there are a few solutions that come to my mind, and the first is definitely vet what your kids are watching. Don't show them this sort of stuff in the first place. I'm not super familiar with the co-host, but I think that trying to go down the path of coming up with some sort of transgender backstory for one of the characters is going to be even more confusing. I would advise against that. But, at the end of the day, the answer is actually pretty simple. No, two women cannot independently create a baby. Two men cannot independently create a baby. It takes a man and it takes a woman. And I guess it's up to the parents' discretion as to how far they want to go into that explanation. But okay, Snoop Dogg is raising a very reasonable point here. He's not really even commenting on lesbians or gays or civil rights or marriage or any of that. He's just saying that this is a tricky thing to explain to a child. And he's correct, and that's why this stuff is in children's movies in the first place, to sort of introduce kids to the idea and get them thinking about it and to make it seem normal. But even the mildest pushback or criticism, if it warrants that label, has resulted in this backlash from the left. So let's look at some tweets sort of responding to what Snoop Dogg said in this clip. Okay, so we have this one right here. It says, Snoop Dogg built his career rapping about gangs, crime, drugs, and violence, proudly embracing the gangster rapper persona. But now he's afraid by an animated film just because it shows a same-sex couple together for less than 10 seconds. And then, of course, you have the sassy GIF, which I guess, is supposed to bolster the point. Now, not that I am a huge fan of Snoop Dogg's work or that I'm really even that familiar with it, but I would guess and I would hope that he's not exposing his grandkids to it at a young age. And if he is, I mean, that's also not good, right? There are a lot of things that kids probably don't need to learn about, probably don't need to, incorporate into their worldview and their value system at a young age. And for what it's worth, I would also say that gangster rap is also probably pretty worthless, and also, a sign of cultural deterioration or something that could lead to deterioration. So if we have to throw out, lesbian Disney astronauts and we have to throw out gangster rap, that's fine. We could throw out both. Let's look at another tweet here. This guy, okay, so he's reacting. He's reacting to Pop Crave's initial recap of the tweet. And we have the lesbian couple here. And it's very nice because, not only are they a lesbian couple, but they're an interracial couple, apparently. So, another point for diversity. But he says, what an effing loser. Ever since Snoop Dogg started tap dancing for Trump, he's gotten more outspoken about the dumbest stuff. I don't know that I've seen Snoop Dogg tap dance for Trump. I'd like to see it. I'm sure Snoop Dogg could put on a pretty good tap show. And again, you have a GIF, and I can't deny that it's very sassy, and so I guess that wins the argument. Okay, one more. So this account is called Blue Sky Libs, and they round up some of the best posts on Blue Sky. And Blue Sky, if you're not familiar, it's basically Twitter for people who have that yard sign in their front yard that says, like, in this house, we believe that 3-year-olds should have access to gender transitions or whatever. So this guy on Blue Sky, he says, Snoop grew up to be angry conservative grandpa yelling at kids. Mad at female rappers for talking about sex. Mad at Pixar movies for having LGBTQ characters. You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Ooh. I think probably what's going on is that you either die or fade out of cultural relevancy when you're young enough to basically be in tune with the culture, with the demands of the culture, or as you get older, and everything has shifted leftwards, if you find yourself maintaining a similar position, similar political position to what you believed 20 years ago, all of a sudden you are this, right-wing voice of MAGA or whatever. It's a pretty far stretch to call Snoop Dogg conservative. Like, I guess he's conservative in the sense that maybe he wants to conserve the values of the year 2005, which were like, a mom and a dad in animated movies and women twerking in music videos instead of male dancer. Like, it's really not a very deep conservatism, but I think with these tweets, prove or suggest is that, any pushback against these insane litany of demands is just going to be met with name-calling and dismissal and snark. And so you should say these things anyway, because it doesn't matter if you are in total opposition or you offer pretty mild pushback. You're basically going to get the same reaction either way, which is that you are, conservative scum, a fascist, whatever, what have you. And so it really doesn't matter. But let me know what you thought about Snoop Dogg's comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought about the reaction to his comments as well. Give this video a like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.